Hare Krishna, Tanu Mataji. Good morning.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. I'm very happy to see you. I was waiting when you'll come back. I'm finally here today.
Good. Thank you for being here. You are today our only association so far. So let's see if some other devotee will join later. Okay, so we will start today. Okay, let me just pull out my notes. Okay. So today is a session that has quite some variety because we will hear the first page will be about the summer season. Then we will have 2 pages in regard to Pralambasura, and then we will have around 6 pages that are extremely beautiful about Krishna's flute and also Krishna's beauty. And because there were a lot of effects of Krishna's flute, I was underlying them just to see them a little bit more to our consciousness. And we will also hear very moving conversation of the gopis, and especially their eagerness and longing for Krishna. And that's something that when we read, we can try to take it to our heart. We know that this eagerness is the price for Krishna consciousness. And just by hearing of the eagerness of the gopis, we might feel something, awaken some eagerness in our heart. So we will go now to Vrindavan Dham and offer our obeisances. I was wondering in which place we should go today. There was 2 choices. One was to go to Akshayavat, the place where Pralambasura had been liberated. But because there is actually much more about the flute of Krishna, we decided to go to Vamshivat. There is, of course, the Vamshivat in Sri Vrindavan Dham, in the town of Vrindavan, but there is also the original Vamshivat, which is upstream of the Yamuna, quite some distance from Vrindavan town. And we were last year visiting this place, and there is a full forest which is called the Saint Ashrams. And there are many different small courtiers and many sadhus are living there. It's actually a community of sadhus living in the middle of the forest, and there are beautiful trees and beautiful peacocks, and it's very nicely kept. So we will go there to offer obeisances today. I will share the screen. Hmm? Okay. So, okay, here we are in front of one of those saint ashram, and we will watch very carefully the picture. This morning time, the sun has arisen. Look at the kalpavriksha trees that are all around in this Braj forest. And now we can feel that we enter into the picture and we are there, physically present. And we can close our eyes and offer our obeisances in the dust of Sri Vrindavan Dham. We feel the touch of the dust on our forehead, on our hands and feet. We feel how blissful it is to be in touch with the dust. remember your spiritual master, and with great respect, ask him for the permission to enter today into the dimension, spiritual dimension of Sri Vrindavan Dham. You can hear peacocks around and smell very perfumed fragrance of the flowers. You can open your eyes. We will have one small verse from Vrindavan Mahimamrita. Oops, sorry. That I found actually very nice as an introduction. You want to read, Vajani?
Turn your eyes from the labyrinthine network of the material world of duality, where the bodies and everything else are fashioned from the three modes of nature, and make your mind enter the endless, limitless, intensely blissful spiritual effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vrindavana Campu 9.
So I thought this is so much necessary when we want to enter into a spiritual dimension, that we turn our eyes away from the labyrinthine network of the material world. We have to leave that aside so that we can actually turn our mind towards this limitless, intensely blissful effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the beginning of this pastime, we will hear of how picture of how Krishna, Balaram, and the boys, they are actually in Bandiravan, and they are singing, dancing, playing instruments until the time Krishna calls everyone and tells them that they will now play a new game. So please watch carefully. It's such an amazing picture. Vajanti is the one looking for all the pictures. So here you really found the wonderful one. And see top knot of Krishna and Balaram and their dancing pose, while the other play instruments. So capture the picture in your mind's eyes, take a nice screenshot, and we will have the first meditation that we will, like usually, read 3 times. Maybe Tanu, if you like to start.
Sure, Prabhuji. One boy sang in a very sweet voice. Some boys played musical instruments while others danced. Sometimes Krishna vibrated his flute while Balram danced. At other times, Krishna danced to the singing of Balaram and his friends. In a melodious tone, Krishna called the Gopas, "Ho, ho, my brothers! Now stop your dancing because we are going to play a new game." One boy sang in a very sweet voice. Some boys played musical instruments while others danced. Sometimes Krishna vibrated his flute while Balaram danced. At other times, Krishna danced to the singing of Balaram and his friends. In a melodious tone, Krishna called the Gopas, "Ho, ho, my brothers, now stop your dancing because we are going to play a new game."
Close your eyes, try to see the picture, visualize the picture we were seeing before as we hear the last reading.
One boy sang in a very sweet voice. Some boys played musical instruments while others danced. Sometimes Krishna vibrated his flute while Balram danced. At other times, Krishna danced to the singing of Balaram and his friends. In a melodious tone, Krishna called the Gopas, "Ho, ho, my brothers! Now stop your dancing because we are going to play a new game."
Full. Thank you so much, Tanu. Very well read. And here in this picture, we see Krishna playing on his flute. So that will be the next meditation, how it's happening when he plays his flute. So watch carefully. We can see also the footprints of Krishna on the floor, the animals around. Shri Hari Govinda, would you like to read the text?
Yes, Prabhu. While strolling along the pathway, Krishna left the wonderful marks of a gourd, lotus, conch, thunderbolt, and the other symbols of his lotus feet on the breast of Mother Earth. Holding the flute to his leaf-like lips, Krishna played a slow raga. Krishna's lips, red as bimba fruits, drank the nectar of his flute as his fingers danced deftly over its holes. The abundant flow of nectar emanating from the belly of the flute spread throughout the atmosphere. While strolling along the pathway, Krishna left the wonderful marks of a gourd, lotus, conch, thunderbolt, and the other symbols of his lotus feet on the breast of Mother Earth. Holding the flute to his leaf-like lips, Krishna played a slow raga. Krishna's lips, red as bimba fruits, drank the nectar of his flute as his fingers danced deftly over its holes. The abundant flow of nectar emanating from the belly of the flute spread throughout the atmosphere.
We can close our eyes and keep the picture we were seeing before as visualization as we hear the last reading.
While strolling along the pathway, Krishna left the wonderful marks of a gourd, lotus, conch, thunderbolt, and the other symbols of his lotus feet on the breast of Mother Earth. Holding the flute to his leaf-like lips, Krishna played a slow raga. Krishna's lips, red as bimba fruits, drank the nectar of his flute as his fingers danced deftly over its holes. The abundant flow of nectar emanating from the belly of the flute spread throughout the atmosphere.
Thank you. And we'll go to the last meditation. And here you can see on the left side, in the back, it's Krishna playing the flute. And in front side, you can see the gopis who get really emotionally touched by the sound of the flute. And they have actually a lot of eagerness. Their only desire is actually to have this association with Krishna, and the flute is stirring their hearts, and their eagerness, longing, and all those feelings are coming up in their hearts. So please watch carefully. Take the picture in your mind's eyes as we gently read the meditation.
Although there were unlimited groups of gorgeous gopis, they all had the great fortune of achieving the highest stage of love for Krishna. The gopis had peaceful nature and the same object of meditation, namely the desire to attain Krishna. The splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for Krishna's supreme friendship. With great yearning, they looked in the direction of the flute and embraced each other due to the sudden derangements of the mind. Although there were unlimited groups of gorgeous gopis, they all had the great fortune of achieving the highest stage of love for Krishna. The gopis had peaceful nature and the same object of meditation, namely the desire to attain Krishna. The splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for Krishna's supreme friendship. With great yearning, they looked in the direction of the flute and embraced each other due to the sudden derangement of their minds.
Close your eyes and try to visualize the picture we saw as we hear the last reading.
Although there were unlimited groups of gorgeous gopis, they all had the great fortune of achieving the highest stage of love for Krishna. The gopis had peaceful nature and the same object of meditation, namely the desire to attain Krishna. The splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for Krishna's supreme friendship. With great yearning, they looked in the direction of the flute and then embraced each other due to the sudden derangement of their minds.
We're going to now start the reading. Tanu, Mataji, would you like to start the reading?
Sure, Prabhuji. Pastimes in summer. Pralambasura and the glories to Krishna's flute. The arrival of the summer season brought a suitable time for Krishna to relish refreshing pastimes with Sri Radha. But when Krishna played with Balaram and the cowherd boys, he felt the scorching heat of summer manifesting within himself as the burning pain of separation from Radhika. Before telling the next pastime, I will describe the summer season in Vrindavan. During the summer, the pathways become hard and dry from the blistering heat of the sun. But inside the caves of Govardhan, where Krishna secretly enjoys with his beloveds, there is always a soothing and cooling atmosphere due to its natural springs and small ponds of water. The waves of the Yamuna meander lazily by her scorching banks of sand. People also move slowly due to the heat. Everyone forgets the discomfort of pressing by smelling the pleasing fragrance of Sirisa flowers. The tops of the trees hang down to form natural canopies which shade the footpaths and kindly protect the Vrajvasis from the pinching rays of the sun. In Vrindavan's cool, shady groves, the Vanadevis, forest maidens, are busy making delightful arrangements for Radha Krishna's confidential pastimes. Scattered here and there are various kunjas made of luxurious bushes, trees, and vines that have entrance doors on one side. The Vanadevis keep a variety of pleasurable substances such as pan, chandan, and pots of cool sandal scented water inside the kunjas. There are also containers of refreshing drinks like madhu and mango nectar waiting to satisfy the divine couple and relieve their fatigue. One summer day, the brilliantly powerful brothers, Krishna and Balaram, surrounded by their associates and displaying wonderful grace and beauty, came to Ravan forest to enjoy pastimes. The moment the Lord desired to enjoy a particular pastime, all the necessary paraphernalia automatically appeared. Nourished by eating the fresh green grass and satisfied by drinking the crystal clear water, the cows relaxed peacefully in the dense shade of the banyan trees. The Gopas wore garlands of freshly blossomed malika flowers and natural earrings made from sirisa flowers. They tied garlands of kurchi flowers in their hair. Adorned with these attractive fragrant flowers, the two brothers, Balaram and Damodara, played happily with their friends.
Thank you, Tanu, Mataji. Shri Hari Govinda, if you like to continue.
Yes. The killing of Pralambasura. One boy sang in a very sweet voice. Some boys played musical instruments while others danced. Sometimes Krishna vibrated his flute while Balram danced. At other times, Krishna danced to the singing of Balaram and his friends. In a melodious tone, Krishna called the gopis, "Ho ho, my brothers! Now stop your dancing because we are going to play a new game." While running to meet their friend, the Gopas replied, "O Damodar, what sort of game do you want to play?" Krishna said, "Listen, let us divide ourselves in two parties. One party will go with the powerful Balaram, and the other party will side with me." Thus, Krishna divided his friends into two parties in order to hold a contest of strength. The boys in Balaram's party followed him like loyal soldiers, and the other boys accompanied Krishna. The losing party had to carry the victors on their backs. Krishna's party lost. Even though Krishna carries the whole universe in his belly, he had to carry Sridham on his shoulders. Under the influence of time, Pralambasur, the deceitful one, disguised himself as a cowherd boy and secretly mixed with Krishna's friends. Being defeated in the contest, Pralambasura had to carry the victorious Baladev, who looked extremely enchanting and effulgent with sandalwood paste smeared on his golden white body. Taking Balram on his shoulders, the demon carried him to the edge of Bhandiravan forest. Pralambasura thrilled with the thought, "I have accomplished my mission. Like a thief, I have broken all the rules of the game and stolen a valuable jewel." At first, Balram was amazed at the extraordinary power of his carrier, but then he instantly understood the situation. Smiling mildly, Balram called out to his playful younger brother, "O Damodar, hey Manorama, just as insanity robs one's intelligence, this demon is trying to kidnap me. O you of infallible willpower, what should I do now? Hey relisher of mellows, without hesitating, please give me proper instructions." Krishna felt somewhat amused to see and hear all of this. Then, in a thundering voice, he assured Baladev, "Give up all your fears. Why are you submitting to illusion? Just remember your own divine power and slay the demon."
Thank you. Using his unrivaled strength, which far exceeded the power of the thunderbolts Indra uses to cut the wings of the mountain, Balaram, the elder brother of Madhusudan, smashed the demon's head into little pieces with his fist. With tremendous power, the Lord drove the demon to the kingdom of Yama. Before departing, the demon assumed a huge, grotesque form. The Brajbasis thought that Balaram, whose complexion is whiter than fresh camphor, looked like the full moon sitting on the top of the dome-like covering of the universe as he sat upon the demon's shoulders. The demon's body had a dark smoky color, but due to profuse bleeding, his hideous body now looked like a cluster of clouds in the reddish sky at sunset. While falling, he appeared like the sun setting behind the Vindhya mountain, which is covered with red Ashoka flowers. The splendid demigods, who are expert in glorifying others, showered flowers on the head of Balaram to celebrate his victory over the demon. The notorious demon named Pralamba had displayed great tantric magic, but eventually he perished under the fierce blow of Balaram, whose chariot bears the symbol of a palm tree. In front of everyone, Balaram humbly accepted the name Pralambagya, one who removes all the sin from the heart, honorably bestowed upon him by Lord Indra. Thereafter, Balaram met with his brother Damodar, who always gives joy to others and is dear to all the Gopas. Anjali?
Strolling along the pathways.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
While strolling along the pathway, Krishna left the wonderful marks of goat, lotus, conch, thunderbolt, the other symbols of his lotus feet on the breast of Mother Earth. Holding the flute to his leaf-like lips, Krishna played a slow raga known as Mallavari, just fit for the autumn season. Krishna's lips, red as bimba fruits, drank the nectar of his flute as his finger danced deftly with his folds. The abundant flow of nectar emanating from the belly of the flute spread throughout the atmosphere. Beside the intended raga of Mallavashri, the flute used to produce a variety of personified tunes. Krishna's face looked very attractive, brightened by his beautiful white teeth shining within his fresh leaf-like lips. Receiving a kiss from Krishna's dazzling smiling face, the flute enjoyed the same fortune as his charming lovers. Indeed, The Murali is devoid of defects, even though full of holes. It is astonishing that this heart flute, softens the hearts of heartless people and silences the deer, birds, and other forest animals. Though derived from bamboo, Vamsa, or a good family like the Chandra Vamsa dynasty, it infects all chaste women with intense attachment to Madhupati. Aho! Just see this Murari of Murari. Although hollow, it holds a stream of ragas. Its sweet sound simultaneously stuns the whole universe and fills everyone with joy. Murari's sweet flute melodies engage the three worlds in marvelous pastimes. Entering within the ears, the vibration of Murari's flute agitates one's body, mind, and senses. By nature, Krishna's flute is simple and sweet, but according to the mood of the listener, it manifests as nectar to some and poison to others. It causes river water to freeze solid and hard mountains to melt into rivers of ecstasy. Dead trees spring to life with fresh green leaves. Sages, fixed in Brahman, become restless and agitated. Among relishable objects, the best thing is the sound of Krishna's flute, which completely maddens one in bliss. It removes the anxieties of all people and stops the movements of birds and animals. Thus, the sound of Krishna's flute is a treasure house of wonders. All glories to the super excellent vibration of Krishna's flute.
Tanu, if you like to continue the reading.
Although there were unlimited groups of gorgeous gopis, they all had the great fortune of achieving the highest stage of love for Krishna. The gopis had peaceful natures and the same object of meditation, namely the desire to attain Krishna. The splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for Krishna's supreme friendship. With great yearning, they looked in the direction of the flute and embraced each other due to the sudden derangement of their minds. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, they uttered some sweet words to describe the transcendental qualities of Krishna. In this way, the Vrajagopis passed the day glorifying their beloved with poetic compositions. The leaders of each group of gopis spoke two verses of praise, but they felt apprehensive about revealing their inner moods before the common people. To avoid explicitly explaining their intimate pastimes with Krishna, they spoke in a hidden but humorous way. One gopi said, "How can I properly describe the fortunate of one having eyes? To see Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan is the ultimate limit of vision. Wandering in Vrindavan, Krishna pierces the hearts of everyone with his restless, sidelong glances. Those who see Krishna like this feel their bliss rise to the zenith. The sound of his flute makes the whole world impatient. Those who have seen the inexhaustible beauty of Krishna and Balaram tending their cows are the most fortunate people in the world. But alas, we have been deprived of this good fortune. Beautiful peacock feathers cares their carries their crowns, and garlands swing from their necks to ornament their elegant forms. Radiant tilaka, made from various colored mineral powders, graces their foreheads. Bouquets of small creepers and flowers ornament their bodies. Thus, Krishna and Balaram please the eyes of everyone with their charming beauty as they enter Vrindavan, just like dramatic actors walking onto a stage. A second Sakhi said, a person is considered fortunate even if he can see Krishna's lotus face from a distance. One is even more fortunate if he can kiss him with the corners of his eyes. Hey Sakhi, with a sweet face. That person, however, who drinks the nectar of his lips after he plays the flute is very fortunate. Hey Murali, I am not lying. You hold a special position. When Sham Sundar kisses you, you become overwhelmed and beautified by the touch of his teeth, glimmering white like the rays of the moon. You echo the pleasant sounds of his young lovers at the time of union and thus drive the world mad. Krishna's brightly shining teeth are so beautiful that they look like ripe pomegranate seeds sitting in the middle of a lotus flower or precious rubies embedded in the full moon. Of course, these things are impossible. Therefore, nothing can compare with the beauty of Krishna's teeth.
Thank you. Shri Hari Govinda Prabhu.
Another Sakhi said, the Murali is acting very boldly because he is tasting the lips of Krishna, which are dear to his paramours and meant only for the gopis' enjoyment. But the Murli must be very fortunate because even without endeavoring, he has easily obtained a sweet rasa, has easily obtained this rarest jewel. Before his evening bath, Krishna kisses his flute and imbibes a sweet rasa. The union of Krishna and his flute produce a nectar that makes the Yamuna ecstatic, turn solid, and burst forth with blossoming lotuses. Feeling proud of their son, the flute, the bamboo trees shed tears of love in the form of honey dripping down their trunks. Another gopi, desiring eternal association with Krishna, yet fearing impending separation, said, the fortunate earth holds a position higher than Brahmaloka. She is supremely worshipable because Krishna marks her with his splendid footprints like an independent lover drawing designs on the body of his beloved. The endless flow of nectar from Krishna's flute has transformed the heart of Mother Earth. As one in ecstasy experiences erect bodily hairs and thrill bumps, similarly, the grasses covering the earth stand straight up in shoots. The glories of Vrindavan are far beyond the comprehension of a person like me. Here the peacocks, feeling joyful at heart, begin gently dancing when they hear the sweet sound of Murari's Murali. Stunned by that sound, the soft leaves of the creepers, blowing in the wind, become motionless. Another gopi group leader, longing to see Krishna, said, O Sakhi, the deer and doe must have performed severe penances and austerities in order to always hear Krishna's melodious flute and see his gorgeous face with their large, innocent eyes. Now we can appreciate the extent of their fortune. Hey Sakhi, aho, look, even the female parrots are more fortunate than we are. Without any fear or inhibition, They enjoy the lotus face of Krishna, which sends forth the nectarian sound of his flute, along with their husbands. Hence, they have achieved the highest perfection of the eyes. The wives of the demigods and their husbands, who are deeply attached to them, are very fortunate because they have already developed love for Krishna. Therefore, they are always attracted to the captivating form of Krishna and feel extremely impatient upon hearing his enchanting flute. Losing all composure, the demigoddesses become unsteady, and even while flying in the sky, their hair braids loosen, and the knots of their waist clothes slacken. In this agitated condition of love, they forget to drop soothing flowers and shower Krishna with tears of love instead.
True. Another gopi said, when the cows hear Krishna's flute, they cock their ears in rapt attention and close their eyes in bliss. Then the sound of Krishna's flute enters their ears like a constant flow of nectar. In such a state, the cows appear like statues painted on canvas. As the cows become inert from the captivating sound, their teeth look very beautiful with the half-chewed sprouts hanging out of their mouths. While holding their mother's udders, the calves neither suck milk nor let go, or swallow the milk already in their mouths. The pleasing sound of Krishna's flute steals the minds of the cows and fills them with satisfaction. At that time, Mother Earth happily drinks the milk automatically streaming from the cow's udders. Saki, abandoning their usual flighty nature, the birds of Vrindavan listen attentively to the sweet sound of Krishna's flute, while relishing the beauty of his transcendental form. With their eyes closed, in meditation on the music, they look like sages steeped in bliss. Saki, they have stopped flying, singing, and eating, becoming fully absorbed in tasting the pleasant sound of Krishna's flute. The birds have flipped out their feathers due to ecstatic feelings of devotion. Listening to the sweet sound of the Murali, the Yamuna and other rivers are intensely agitated and spinning in whirlpools. It seems that they have been struck by cubic arrows and affected by a type of epilepsy. The swans and chakravakas rolling in the waves of the rivers look like the disarrayed clothing of the river. The sandy banks look like the unclothed hips of the river. And the bubbles on the surface, it seems like foam forming on the mouth of the river. Saki, the rivers shivered in ecstasy from hearing Krishna's flute are holding lotus flowers in the hands of their waves to offer him Puspanjali. In the mood of his lovers, the rivers respectfully offer cool water to happily bathe Krishna's feet and remove the heat of walking on the burning earth of summer. The clouds, acting like friendly sakis, cool down the hot air by pouring tiny drops of water upon his head. Observing that every living entity was nicely serving Krishna, except herself, one sad gopi said, even the cloud, which is an unconscious entity, can show his affection by moving here and there to act as an umbrella, shielding Krishna from the scorching rays of the sun. When Krishna plays his flute, the clouds remove the fatigue of cow herding by pouring tiny streams of water from all the directions, which seems like a shower of camphor dust. Just see. Only we have been cheated from tasting the sweetness of serving Krishna, which is being relished by everyone in the universe.
Then the best of the gopis, thinking like this and feeling an arousal of enchanting love at the same time, said, "Just see the fortune of the Pulindas, Aborigine women. They thoroughly enjoy smearing their face and breasts with the kumkum fallen into the grass from Krishna's feet that once adorned the breast of his dearest Sakis. To relish Krishna's sweetness is the object of everyone's desire. Though the Pulindas are mere aborigines, we cannot say that they do not deserve such a fortune. It is quite proper that the Pulinda women have genuine attachment Though the Pulindas are mere aborigines, we cannot say that they do not deserve such a fortune. It is quite proper that the Pulinda women have genuine attachment to Krishna. Such signs of greed indicate the extent of one's real attachment to Krishna. Though one feels totally unqualified for such attainment, the greed for Krishna remains. While speaking of the Pulindas, that gopi remembered the fortune of Govardhan Hill and revealed to a friend her intense desire to meet Krishna. She said, "This Govardhan Hill enhanced Madhava's pastimes by supplying roots, fruits, water, mineral colors, and caves to hide in. In this way, Govardhan is the best servitor of the Lord. It is known that by serving a great devotee, one can attain Vishnu. By his selfless service, Govardhan has brought Krishna under his control." Then that chief among the gopi indicated her desire to meet Krishna by speaking to a friend, "O Saki, it is our opinion that Krishna fulfills the desire and relieves the thirst of those who take shelter of Govardhan Hill." The unmarried gopis, headed by Danya Saki, showed their great fortune by manifesting their ongoing strong attachment to Krishna. The astonishing power of their yearning for Krishna revealed itself in newer and newer way. Even expert in loving affair cannot understand the intensity of the gopis' desire. Just hearing the flute song of Krishna paralyzed their senses, hands and feet. The unpredictable nature of prema put them in this embarrassing position. Overwhelmed in love for Krishna, they embraced each other and spoke as follows: "O Saki, the sound of Krishna's flute is as powerful yogi, transforming the nature of reality with his mantra. It makes the conscious become unconscious and give life to the lifeless. O Saki, look, all the aquatics, birds and deer remain stunned like statues. The trees, earth, and mountains melt into liquid, and the hair on their bodies stand erect." Seeing the flute's ability to drastically alter the state of other moving and unmoving entities, the gopis worried about upholding their vows. The gopi said, Can any young woman possibly stop the low sound of that resonating flute, which the enemy of Kaliya started playing upon attaining youth? It is so terrible that it brings about a state of death, like that induced by drinking poison. Rather than stopping it, we simply become playthings in the hands of that flute. That flute sound is the blemish on our family. But if we cannot hear it, then we die in the pain of separation. Agonized by this painful separation, we absorbed our mind in remembering the Prince of Vrindavan, the Lord of our hearts. His fickle mind is always agitated by lust. Every day he proudly displayed the attracting power of his flute song and enjoyed a festival beneath the trees of Vrindavan. But still the residents of Vrindavan always offer him the greatest respect. With the sweetness of his bodily effulgence, he pleases all living entity and satisfies the world. Tanu?
When will we smell Krishna's sweet lotus face framed by the thick, glossy locks of his dark blue hair? His eyebrows dance on his broad forehead, and his nose is beautifully raised. When an object falls into an ocean of sweetness, it also manifests sweetness. Similarly, the yellow rope draped attractively on his turban, which Murari uses for tying cows, has become joyful by contacting his blissful form. Moreover, the young gopis who worship the tambula scented lips of Krishna that are bordered by his cheeks are supremely fortunate. His dancing Makar Kundala earrings, stud with jewels and flowers, cast reflections on his cheeks like sparkling bubbles of water. What woman does not desire to embrace the broad chest of Krishna, which is adorned with a forest garland, the marks of Lakshmi and Srivatsa, and brilliant jewels and pearl necklaces? Whose lake of heart would not become agitated by his two arms, which hang at his sides like the trunks of a pair of intoxicated baby elephants, desiring to snatch the nectar beauty of his knees? Within our hearts, we hold his waist, which is surrounded by three graceful folds of skin. Although measuring only the size of a fist, Krishna's thin waist is exceedingly powerful and makes us very weak. The line of hairs extending from his navel to his broad chest resembles a row of beautiful kalptaru trees. They, they look like the fine hairs on the back of a bumblebee or a black snake that bites our chest when we tightly embrace him. His elegant feet, marked with a lotus, god, and thunderbolt, defeat the beauty of red lotus flowers. His toes sparkle from the effulgence of his jeweled inlaid anklets. When will those feet be the ornament of our breasts? Thus, Dhanya Sakhi and other beautiful young gopis disclosed their intense craving to meet Krishna. Since Mahaprema had arisen within them, they manifested so much longing that their throats choked up from the life airs rushing out of their bodies. Tossed by the insurmountable waves of desire to meet Krishna, they spent the days with great difficulty.
Thank you. And close your eyes as we go through the final meditation. We are now summer in Sri Vrindavan Dham, and we can see the Yamuna that flows lazily by her scorching banks of sand. The Vanadevis prepare the kunj for the divine couple's pastimes by arranging pan, chandan, pots of cool sandals, scented water, fresh juices, and nectar drinks. See Krishna strolling on the dust of Braj and leaving the signs of the flag, lotus, conch, and thunderbolt on the breast of Mother Earth. Krishna plays a slow raga as his finger dances deftly over its oars. Hear the sound of Krishna's flute that stuns the whole universe and fill everyone with joy. Carefully listen to one gopi saying, wandering in Vrindavan, Krishna pierces the heart of everyone with his restless sidelong glance. Those who see Krishna like this feel their bliss rise to the zenith. Look up in the sky and see the demigoddess who are so agitated that they forget to drop soothing flower and shower Krishna with tears of love instead. Remember how the gopi had peaceful natures and the same object of meditation, namely the desire to attain Krishna. Those splendid beauties of Vrindavan prayed only for Krishna's supreme friendship. With great yearning, they looked in the direction of the flute. Look at the cows who cock their ears in rapt attention and close their eyes in bliss. While holding their mother's udders, the calves neither suck milk nor let go or swallow the milk already in their mouth. The Yamuna is intensely agitated and spins in whirlpools. It seems she has been struck by Cupid's arrow and affected by a type of epilepsy. Remember the astonishing power of the gopis' yearning for Krishna that reveal itself in newer and newer ways. Pray for those feelings to soon enter your heart. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us today. It was a very intimate reading, but very, very powerful. I found that very absorbing, very beautiful. One day I was thinking to prepare a lecture about Krishna's beauty, and I thought that I can definitely look again at this chapter of ANanda Vrindavana Campu. There's very, very, very beautiful description, and yeah, it's very soothing for the heart and exciting at the same time. When will we have such a feeling passing through our hearts and such absorption and attraction to the Lord? So I don't know if you have anything you take with you from today's reading, any reflections, any pictures? Anu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, yes, I just want to say one line that the ultimate purpose of life is to become mad for Krishna. And I also remember Prabhupada tells this that one should be enraptured, like we read in today's chapter. One should be enraptured and absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna and his abode like this. So instead of absorbing in the materialistic things, he should absorb in Krishna and basically his abode. And enraptured, like he's not thinking of anything else. He's just enraptured. Wow, Krishna, his abode. So in that way, not thinking of anything else, just Krishna. So I was remembering this when we were reading the chapter.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a great injection of Krishna consciousness to read and meditate like this for 1 hour. You really get a good dose. Thank you for sharing. Sri Hari Govinda, do you have any thoughts, any reflections or vision, pictures, feelings?
Hare Krishna. I think I'm still processing everything. There was so much today and so much happened, and I'm just saying what just happened. It was so much, but so beautiful. And so some small things like Murari's Murali, this small, and then his description of his teeth, and we usually think about all of the objects in Vrindavan, his flute, the trees in Shantaras, but the way it was being described, it wasn't at all feeling like Shantaras. I mean, it was so vivid descriptions. So very beautiful, but I think I really would have to read it once again to, that was so rich and so much, yeah. Very beautiful.
Thank you. Jayanti?
Yes, for me it's amazing to see really those feelings of the gopis, how they are. I don't know, I would say they are peaceful, but yeah, they are completely like they start. It seems they cannot keep their heart. It's just, and also was saying, it seems when they're speaking like singing and then verses. So it's so they cannot check themselves, but they speak between each other. It was, yeah, they're speaking also in a he was saying speaking in
hidden way.
In hidden ways. So at the beginning, after not, but it's I guess the beginning they started speaking about Krishna and Balaram together, but then it seems they completely forgot, and then they were just speaking about. Yes, so yeah, also very very beautiful picture. Many also, yeah, about how Krishna is beautiful also, with this like if one is looking to with this beautiful lens, the teeth, yeah, very 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 beautiful, very beautiful. Also, yeah, to see also even the beautiful this image with the demigods that they are not able to send. Normally they should send flowers, but they were not able because they had yeah, tears. And also at the end, like he was saying that how the gopis, they are, this is what happened to gopi because they are full of maha prema. It's not just prema, but this is maha prema. So it's like out of the completely even more than so.
Like if prema is not sufficient. Maha prema.
Yeah, and the Yamuna, it was very beautiful, this description of the Yamuna also. I mean, it was in different one also when she has like this, she had the, how you call
Wire
them,
pools.
wire pool, and also the swans, the Chakravaka, it seems they were also like in the, and then it looks like the disheveled cloth of the Yamuna, and the banks also like her hips, and then very beautiful, like with the waves, like hands, that she has the lotus flowers, and she brings them to the lotus feet of Krishna, and she's cooling the lotus feet of Krishna that were too hot because of the sun. Yes, very. And again, it's like it seems Krishna is just like in Vrindavan. It's never say, and even I guess even though he's attracting the heart of the gopis and like this, but and even he's behaving like not properly, everyone just loves him and everyone cannot respect him, even though. So it's beyond the. Only imagine thinking sometimes I was thinking what is my how do I perceive Krishna? How do I see Krishna? Is just still so far, no, from what Krishna is. It's really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I somehow this picture of the Yamuna lazily moving through the scorching banks of the scorching banks of sand somehow stuck, and I can imagine like the very, very strong heat and the Yamuna lazily flowing through. I like also how Krishna was piercing the heart of everyone with his sidelong glance. And also, I mean, one picture was the little line of hair that goes from the navel of Krishna to his chest, and that was compared to to a row of kalpavriksha trees, or like the tiny hair that are on the back of the bumblebee. Yeah,
Okay.
and also like a snake that is biting the gopis when they embrace him tightly. I also felt like, wow, such a beautiful vision. Yeah, it's very, very, very rich, but mainly I think what I like to take with me is this yearning and longing, and also some of one of the gopis, she was sadly speaking, and she was saying everyone can serve Krishna, even the clouds, they are following Krishna, they give tiny, but we are deprived of this possibility to serve him, which is like very brings this mood of separation, even though they're all the time with Krishna in their mind, but at the same time they are fearful of the pain of separation that are on their hearts. And so it was also like to some the flute song is like nectar, and to some is like poison. Depend on the circumstance. Yeah, it's just like mind-blowing to be allowed actually to enter this dimension that has nothing to do anymore with the material world, and it's really a luxury for us devotee, that from time to time we can enter this amazingly sweet world of Krishna consciousness and Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's abode, and be there for 1 hour. It's a great luxury, and hope that we keep something from this world with us today at least, and look forward for next reading. I think next time we will have when Krishna comes back from the forest in the evening with the cows. I think that will be continuation of chapter 11, and yeah, it looks we have more nectar coming up. So thank you for joining. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, the revealer of the Dham and the one who gave us opportunity to know Krishna consciousness and cultivate Krishna consciousness. And all glories to you, Nectar devotees, who are always eager for the nectar of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, see you.
Krishna.